Hey guys, Luke here, and over the last couple of years I've done tips and predictions for all of the NRL, and I thought it'd be fun if I went and did some tips and predictions for the final series. So week one's already been, I already did a video kind of going over my overall tips, so you can go back and take a look at that and see who I predicted to win the whole comp. But now that that's happened, everyone that I kind of picked in the first week won, so we can kind of move into week two and I can give my full thoughts after watching the last couple of games and seeing the lineups of both teams. So for today's video I'm going to be going over the grand final rematch. It's going to be the Roosters up against the Raiders. So obviously the Roosters, they lost last week, they put a lot into it and they got very, very close to beating Penrith, and I feel like if they'd played another 5-10 minutes they probably would have ran down Penrith. Obviously a 1-point win to Penrith, and I think they deserved the win. Obviously Roosters got out to a good start, but Penrith came back and clawed their way back. Well, not even clawed their way back. They romped at home, really. They were just firing on all cylinders, and then I think they kind of slacked off in the end and Roosters nearly capitalised on it. But Penrith got such a good lead that it didn't really matter in the end. And even the 1-point lead, it only happened because Penrith, I feel like they took their foot off the pedal and they just wanted to go with it. And you know, they could have took a shot at 2. Instead they went and they kicked the field goal, and Roosters were lucky enough to get the ball back and probably made it a lot closer than what it was. However, yeah, the Roosters did play pretty decent, and that's what kind of scares me for the Roosters going into this game, is that the Raiders, I feel like they did it fairly easy. It wasn't super strenuous for them or anything. I know they were down at points, same as the Roosters. I feel like there was lots of comebacks in the first week too. But the Sharks were okay, but the Raiders just ran away with it in the end. And there's no real injuries, there's no real big concerns for them. I feel like their fitness levels will be pretty good. Whereas for the Roosters, I feel like they played a really tough game against the best team in the comp. Penrith, I feel like they would have taken it out of the Roosters. So luckily for Penrith, they get to sit out a week and rest up, whereas I think the Roosters were really playing for that week off. I think they know how important it is, especially considering they've won the last 2 years. So I think that week off is very important. That's why the Roosters were playing so hard, and they didn't just throw the towel in and go, oh, well, we got next week, let's just prepare for that. They went for it, and they tried to win that game. No doubt about it. And they, like I said, they got very close, but they didn't come up with the goods. So now they go into this game against the team that they played in the grand final last year. So it's going to be a game the Raiders going to be up for, let alone it being a finals game. But just because it is who it is, it's the Raiders against the Roosters. They're going to be going for it, going to be firing all cylinders there, and the Raiders are going to be giving it to them. We know the Raiders can get very physical. They got guys who can get down and dirty, and you know, I feel like they've got a side that can beat the Roosters this week. Maybe if it was played throughout the season, I think the Roosters did beat the Raiders, I think, throughout the season. I think, maybe I got that wrong. But I feel like on paper, the Roosters definitely have the better side. However, I just feel like the circumstances at the moment, I feel like the Raiders can definitely do it. They've got the confidence from last week. They've got the confidence of knowing they can get to a grand final too. And obviously the Roosters, if any team's going to have it, it's going to be them. They can have the confidence from it, but they've lost 2 in a row now, and it doesn't happen very often to the Roosters. We saw a lot of frustration from Robinson last week, so maybe there's just some cracks forming, and maybe the Raiders can take advantage of it. Now, this is a game I feel like the Roosters will end up winning, and I feel like the Roosters, they might not win the comp this year, but I can't see them going out back to back, although at the same time I kind of can. I can see both of the teams who lost last week, the Eels and the Roosters, going out back to back, especially just like I said, the circumstances. Now, going into the finals, you might not necessarily have said that, but just with how everything's gone, the form that teams are in, I think it's very plausible that the Roosters are 1 and done, or 2 and done, I should say. That they get their sort of redemption, but they're not going to capitalise on that and move on to the 3rd week. I can see the Raiders picking up victory here. Jack Whiten has been on fire, and yes, the Raiders did get some very fortunate calls last week, but they took advantage of it and they created their own luck. Now, last week with that whole that try, there was a lot of controversy with, you know, Wade Graham saying he wanted to challenge and all that sort of stuff. That definitely did happen, but Jack Whiten still took advantage of it, and who knows, they might have scored anyways. So, you know, you win some, you lose some in terms of referees, I feel like. So the Raiders definitely got the rub of the green, I feel like, last week, but I think they would have won anyways. So yeah, we've got a grand final rematch coming up. I think the Roosters will probably end up getting the victory. However, if the Raiders win, definitely wouldn't surprise me at all. Raiders are very capable. When you've got Josh Papali and Jack White on your side, you can win any game. So even if the Raiders, if they went on, they won the premiership, would not be surprised. But yeah, I feel like in terms of just backlines and stuff, I feel like the Roosters backline will be too strong. Throw in the Morris boys, you got James Tedesco, best player in the world. You throw in your Daniel Tupous and Joey Manu, best centre in the world, I'd say. Look, that's a very strong backline. I feel like the halves may be a little bit weak in the sense, I feel like Kyle Flanagan doesn't really do too much, doesn't offer too much, and the only other alternative is Lachlan Lamb. Even like a Drew Hutchison, I feel like a big body, even he might be useful in the finals. But yeah, Kyle Flanagan, he's got goal kicking, so I suppose they're not going to drop him. But in terms of just what he offers, I don't think he offers a hell of a lot. But Luke Keary is so good that I feel like he can just carry him. He's carried bloody Cooper Cronk with no arm. I'm sure he can carry the Roosters to the next round of the finals. But it's just the Roosters forwards need to step up. They just need to match it with the English forwards from the Raiders, and then I think they should be okay. I feel like the back line should be able to get them home. Just a matter of if they can do it, because the Raiders forwards definitely have the ability to just overpower the Roosters. The Roosters are fairly like solid forward pack. Got your corners, you got your Hargraves and that sort of stuff, but they don't have anyone who's just that like real explosive destroyer like Josh Papali. There's just no one in that side who does that. And then you got Sonny Bill. I feel like he's an inclusion into this week, and I feel like he's a big inclusion, not in the sense that like he's a super gun player or anything, but just he has that aura about him that the Raiders might work against him. Maybe the Raiders will come out and be like, yeah, I want to smash him. But for me, I feel like just having him on the park, it's sort of similar to Cooper Cronk when he had the busted arm. He's not going to do anything, but just the fact that he's on the field, it's just sort of calms the players a little bit. Goes, yep, we're good to go. He's on the park. Yep, we're all right. Whereas last week they might have missed that a little bit. They're just missing that little bit of, it's hard to say, or weird to say, the experience considering they've won the last 2 premierships. But just Sonny Bill, he just brings that professionalism, so maybe he might be a difference. Maybe he won't be at all. It definitely, when I'm talking about it, I'm going, yeah, it doesn't really sound like it'd have too much of an impact. But the Roosters, I feel like they don't need any more motivating at this point. They've been beat 2 weeks in a row, so if this is the week they're going to pull it together, this will be the week. If there's no other week, they've got to do it now, and they know what they've got to do, and I'm sure they'll do it. Just as long as the Roosters match them in the forwards, I think they should be fine, because like I said, the back line is so strong for the Roosters that I think they can get them home, especially Tedesco himself. If he's on and he wants to do it, he'll do it. Tedesco, best player in the world, as I said. The Raiders will definitely be a good test, and I think that this will be a good indication of just where the Roosters are at. We've seen them play the Panthers last week, the best team in the comp, at least what we think is the best team in the comp based off the regular season. We'll see where the Raiders stand, and we'll see where the Roosters stand. Can the Roosters bounce back? We saw them bounce back pretty good last week, considering they got beat by like 60 against the Rabbitohs. But we'll see if they can do it again, because it's very, very tough. And like I said, it was a super physical game last week. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Roosters are battered and bruised, and they might be able to pull off this victory and then go into next week and be even more wrecked. Or they might come out all guns blazing and absolutely just destroy the Raiders. Or the Raiders might do the exact same. They've just come off a big win, a confidence-building win. Maybe they'll come out and get revenge on the Roosters after last year. Who knows? Leave in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win? Personally, I think the Roosters are going to win. I think it'll be 1-12. I think it'll be a pretty scrappy, tight game. But yeah, leave in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win? Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end the video here. If you did happen to enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Make sure you turn on the notification bell as well while you're at it. Pretty important, lets you know when I'm uploaded immediately, so go ahead and do that. Follow me on social media as well. It's on the screen right now. Snapchat's not on there, but it's the same as what's on everything else, Mr. Luke and YT, so go ahead and do that. And that's where I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching guys. See you next time. Bye.